Hey folks, Malforian here, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different to the usual stuff you see on here. We're going to be taking a look at the Legacy tree in CK3. Now I believe this isn't getting an update in the Royal Court DLC, which is out in a couple of weeks. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to take a look through the tree, what I like, what I don't like, some of the nice bonuses that you can keep an eye out if you're a new player or if you just generally go for the same thing all the time, which I'm going to be honest is generally what I do. I'm really bad for just picking the same tree most playthroughs, unless it's some kind of really long-term playthrough, then I might change it up a little bit. But yeah, overall I think it's a good system, the Legacy thing. The one thing I will say is, similar to some other Paradox games, I do kind of feel like, you've got Legacies and then religions and other, different bonuses here or there around the game, which sometimes can be kind of difficult to, once you've played for a little bit, kind of, see the benefit of using that thing. Like if you go down the warfare tree, if you're not looking for it, do you actually feel the impact of choosing this Legacy tree or not? So I think most of them you do, but I think there's definitely areas which could be improved in the future. So yeah, we're just going to have a quick look through them. And like I say, if you've got any comments or feedback, or, let me know which tree you use in what situation, or, if you play as Norse, do you always choose pillage? Of course you do, it's the best one. Or if you're playing in India, do you always choose kin or something? I don't know. It'd be cool to kind of see what other people's opinions are, as always. And yeah, we'll just take a quick look through. So with the Northern Lords DLC, we did get Adventure and Pillage, which are for Norse cultures, I believe. I don't think other cultures have them. I think it's just Norse that get these two. I really should know, but off the top of my head, I don't. They are by far, I think, the best ones. They are the most recent ones. Now, all the other ones did get an update at the same time, but I still think Adventure and Pillage are by far the best trees if you have access to them. I mean, especially Pillage, you got your prowess improvement here. If you're Norse, you're probably doing duels, a bit more like that. Naval speed, I'm going to be honest with you, most pointless stat in the game. I really hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but I don't really see the point of it that much. I can see here or there it can be a good bonus. If you're raiding or looting and you need to get back home quickly, I guess it comes into use there. But the prestige and fame from battles plus 100%. I mean, that is by far the best part of this one. And then everything else is great. Army loot capacity plus 50%. You can do more looting. If you lose a fight, you then lose more loot, but at the same time, it's just an amazing bonus. Gold from ransoms plus 50%. This is where you can basically just print money if you go raiding. People think one misconception I sometimes see is that raiding, castles and cities and bishoprics and things like that is where you make the money from raiding. The where you make the most money from raiding, to be honest, most of the time is getting those prisoners and ransoming them off. It's easy 50 gold, even more, if you somehow steal, you're an emperor or something like that. It's crazy. You also gain prestige from gaining prisoners, and you're more likely to get prisoners from sieges or raiding. So it's just like triple bonus, basically. And then enemy fatal casualties, if I can talk properly, is plus 10%. It's okay, but gain gold from battles, plus 5 gold for every 100 fatal casualties. If you are raiding, especially once you get those stacks higher and higher, it's just, you're literally just printing money at that point. And then daily siege progress plus 25%. I mean, you want to get in and out with those sieges, so it's really, really good. And adventure, which is, I don't think it's as good, but it has got some nice bonuses. You get to send people to the Varangian Guard, which is cool if you're role-playing. It is a historical thing that happens, so I'm always fond of seeing those kind of things in the game. Sending gift is cheaper, which is great for maybe getting, those marriages that you want, or getting people to join, vassalization voluntarily, if you just need to bribe them for a little bit more money. Strange Gods, which gives you faith modifiers, which again is great. If you're expanding quickly as a Norse one, you're obviously going to be taking over Catholic lands and things like that, so that's going to help you there. It does help you convert as well, so if you do want to convert to Catholicism or any other religion, it's going to be cheaper, which coupled with the other bonuses you can get in the game from the learning talent tree and things like that, it can make faith conversion costs basically free, I think, if you pick up all the different bonuses. And then supply duration is pretty good. It means you can go raiding a little bit more. And then befriend scheme on vassals. It's okay. I generally find if I'm playing as a Norse nation, it's not that hard to keep your vassals on your side. But, you know, it is a nice little extra bonus. So as you can see, these are great. And I'm sure, like I say, you find folks have all chosen these two at every opportunity. Pillage is by far the best one. Adventure is pretty good. It's got like different bonuses here or there, which is quite nice. They're not all focused on one thing. But overall, these two are fantastic. Warfare, again, a great one. Just buffs how good your knights are. Gives you a little bit of cast a spell. Like cost reduction is actually quite good. Again, if you couple it with the bonuses you get from the martial lifestyle tree, you can make wars basically free. Especially with, I think there's some religion bonuses as well that can help you out there. Men-at-Arms efficiency, which is fantastic. And then actually, this private army one is okay. This actually is going to bring me onto a topic later in the video. But it gives you one more regiment size. It also gives you men-at-arms as a, house guard men-at-arms, which are actually pretty good unit for your men-at-arms regiments. Law. Now, Law, I'm going to be honest, is one that I rarely ever take. It's got some nice bonuses in there, but overall, I feel like the other ones give you better bonuses. You know, tile cost reduction, again, saves you some money. Generally, though, is money that much of an issue usually in the game? It is at times, but not really long term. Again, buildings are cheaper. Again, it's okay, but you can kind of get these bonuses from lifestyle perks when you need them, because you don't always want to be building buildings. So I kind of find, you know, focusing a character on that for one lifetime and then, you know, using that lifetime to kind of build all your buildings or as many as you can is generally the better way to go. From what I find, some nice bonuses here to contributions, and then domain limit +1. I think, again, similar to Private Army, I kind of feel like the cap one here, the end one, is okay, but all the earlier ones are actually better. Guile. Now, if any of you have ever stopped by one of my live streams, I do live stream here on YouTube quite often, so if you like Crusader Kings and other strategy games, give me that subscription and that like, and yeah, you can see me. I usually do achievements, things like that, so we usually have a good time in the chat talking about strategy gaming and Crusader Kings in general. Yeah, Guile. So, as I was saying, if you've ever stopped by one of my live streams, you'll know I dislike intrigue. I think it's boring. I don't really like it. It has its uses here and there, and it's kind of fun sometimes in a role-playing method, but overall I just don't like the I just don't like it, which I know is probably an unpopular opinion, especially from long-term Crusader Kings players, but yeah, I don't find it that enjoyable. But some of the things in here are quite good. Dread gain, natural dread +15 is quite good, especially if you have that, you know, short reign duration. It can sometimes help you stave off even some you know, early rebellions. So it's, you know, it's okay. Hostile scheme chance +10%. You know, these are okay, but I don't feel like they're that impactful. It really is one of the trees where I think you don't see the impact of this tree day to day when you're playing the game. Like, it's kind of hard. This end one's not too bad, but I feel like taking all this tree just for family connections just really isn't worth it, to be honest. Blood is a good one. You know, it helps you get more worthy successes, you know, getting those better stats and things like that, which obviously help you immensely as the game progresses. It's got some great bonuses, congenital traits, so, you know, getting genius or, you know, other ones, Herculean, things like that. Kind of helps you keep those within your bloodline and get rid of bad ones. You know, resilient bloodline is fantastic for that. Select congenital trait. This allows you to like pick a base trait that you will always, well, not always, more common, even says so in the tooltip, for your dynasty. So you kind of push your dynasty in a certain direction if you like. And then life expectancy +5. This video's already been going on for 9 minutes, so we're going to try and speed this up a little bit. Erudition is all about skilled guests, things like that. Now, the first one is actually really good. You get better guests, so it's really good for getting cheap, what they call physicians and knights and things like that. So this one is actually quite good. It also makes them cheap to hire once they do arrive. So I actually quite like this first one. Monthly piety plus 10%, that's okay. Development growth is actually really good, especially if you start tribal. I think this is really good for helping you try catch up to, you know, the other nations, you know, in India and, you know, the Byzantines and things like that, South Spain, where there's a lot of development. This actually does help you quite a lot. If I'm doing a long-term one, like Mother of Us All achievement, I think I took Erudition for this to kind of help me catch up a little bit. And then just some bonuses to faith and things like that, and base, progress, and council skill impact plus 10%. Again, another one at the end, which we'll talk about at the end. Glory. Glory's okay. Marriage acceptance plus 30. This is actually underrated, I think. I think I missed this one when it would actually be extremely useful, especially getting those really good alliances early on. To, you know, if you're playing Brittany, you can ally to like West Francia, you know, and then you can get them to help you in your wars. It's probably underrated, this, to be honest. It really does help you with those, you know, I've got 1,000 troops, France has got 10,000, I'm going to use his 10,000 to win all these wars. So it is actually probably better than it might initially appear. All the rest of these are just like minor bonuses. Vassal limit plus 10 is actually really good as well, especially for some achievements where you need to stay as like you can't become an emperor or something like that, and you're going to be stuck with a lot of vassals that you can't get rid of by, you know, offloading kingdom titles and things like that. So, and the vassals are less likely to join claimant factions and liberty factions. Again, you know, if you're going through a lot of rulers, it is actually quite useful to prevent some of those costly civil wars. And then righteousness is just bad. And then the last one we're going through is kin. Bounteous loins. I mean, it's got the best title. Fertility 10%. You know, it's okay. Again, this is another one where you don't, I think, initially see the benefit of choosing this, but it does actually obviously help you. Child opinion plus 10. I mean, unless you're doing something wrong, why would your child dislike you? Medium boost to disease resistance, close family, opinion modifiers, and then no prowess loss from age. This is more of a funny one. I like using this if you're, you know, Heistine or someone like that, and you're like 70 years old, but you still have 50 prowess, and you're beating, you know, those young whippersnappers. It's quite funny. But again, so I think having a quick look, kin, guile, and law are probably the three I use the least. Pillage, adventure, and probably erudition, maybe. Probably the ones I use the most, and then the other ones kind of in the middle. So yeah, again, guys, let me know what you think. You know, does that sound right? Is there any of these that I'm missing? Maybe you know, there's an opportunity to use them where I'm not thinking about it, because I'm always open for new things, and especially with the expansion coming out, there's probably ways these are gonna mix in to the you know, the new mechanics that are coming in there. So yeah, that's just a brief overview. Like I say, just really taking a look at them. I kind of find it interesting to look at the systems in the game, and you know, where we're going in the future. You know, are we going to go that EU4 route of having a lot of systems that don't really interact with each other? Or I'm more hopeful for CK3 to take that route of, you know, we've got these systems like legacies, religions, lifestyles. There's another one as well, I can't think off the top of my head. And, you know, how do they interact with each other to get the most out of it, especially if you're kind of role-playing the game. So yeah, we're going to leave that bit there. The last bit I was going to talk about, which I almost forgot about, which would be typical, is, yeah, these cap ones. So there is one improvement I would like to see in the legacy tree, so let me know what you think. As I was going down these, as I was saying, some of these are, I think some of them, the worst bonus is actually the last bonus. It's private army. Unless you're really, really big, it's actually hard to use up all your regiment slots, unless you're making silly money. And then obviously you can do, I think early mid to late mid in the game, it's actually hard to max out your regiments. So I think this one's not so good. Domain limit one is not so good. Octogenarians +5 life expectancy. I mean, you've got to go through this whole tree to get +5. You know, living, it's okay. It's not amazing. I actually feel like that should be like the first one. So one thing I would like to see is another little box here, and I wonder if this would get added in the future, is I think there should be a cap reward. So if you cap out this and you get the nice little art in the background all lit up. I think you should get an additional bonus for finishing a tree, because these end ones get really expensive. And like I say, some of them aren't even that good, personally, I don't think. So I think it'd be cool if you finish this whole tree, this whole tree bit here, you got an additional bonus. I don't know what it would be. Maybe it would be linked to adventuring. I don't know what. Maybe you get like a one-time special army or something that you can go raiding with, or I don't know, you get like a lot of troops suddenly spawn in areas like you used to do in CK2. You used to get people, I want to come and raid with you. Here's some troops for a while and things like that. I think that'd be kind of cool to kind of give you that extra bonus for finishing a tree, rather than the moment you finish a tree and sometimes it's not great and then you just move to another one. Again, lore, maybe you finish this out and you get, I don't know, just like 20 years of plus opinion modifiers or something like that. Kin, you finish kin out, maybe you get, your family, I don't know, give you money. I don't know, maybe if you've got some ideas, put them in the comments down below. Or drop by one of my live streams and we'll have a chat about it. But I just think that would be kind of a cool addition to the game. Just having that little addition to the legacy system is that, if you finish a tree out, you get that like either a one-off bonus or, like a longer benefit. Maybe blood. When you finish off the blood tree, your next successor is always a genius. I don't know. That'd be kind of role-playing breaking, but again, just those kind of like little bonuses for finishing off a tree, rather than the moment you finish a tree and then you're like, okay, now I've got to go back to these not as good bonuses, and they're really expensive because it costs more and more renown every time you unlock one. So yeah, anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. I think we've been going for, 17 minutes. So it's a long first discussion video on the channel. If you've enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Like I say, I play Crusader Kings and other things on the channel and do some live streams over here. And let me know what you think. If people have enjoyed this, I'll do similar videos on other sections of the game. I've got some ideas for some other videos as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.